In this video, you'll learn how to create records in TOPSpro Enterprise using a manual process. Particularly, we'll talk about creating new student records and test records. So you only need to do this for students who have taken paper-based CASAS tests, and if the next time that student is going to test, they're going to do an e-test. That way they're already in the system and CASAS will recognize them as having already taken a test. Or if you want to be able to create student profile reports or competency reports for a student who has only taken paper-based tests, then again you need to put that data into TOPSpro in order to run a report. To reiterate, students who take CASAS e-tests, they already have records created automatically, so there's no need to create records manually for them. And students who only do paper-based testing do not necessarily need to go through this process either. You don't need their data in TOPSpro unless, of course, you want to run those reports. So let's go to TOPSpro and see how to do this. First, to create a new student record, you go to Records, Students, and Demographics. This brings up a Demographics tab. You click the New button here at the top, which brings up a new student screen where we can fill out their information. And the few pieces of information we need are the site of the student's ID, the student's first name, last name, and gender. So first for the site, you click the drop-down arrow, you pick your district, then there's drop-down arrows next to your district. When you click that, it opens up all of the sub-sites or testing locations where your student is, and you select that. If you don't know exactly what that is, it's okay, just pick one, and then if it's incorrect, your student can locate themselves within the whole CASAS database when they go to take their e-test. So pick their site. For this demo, I'll use this demo one here. Next, we need to put in their student ID, and you should use the standard naming convention that your district has set up for student IDs in CASAS. This one will be really unique. And then give them a first name and a last name, and then put in their gender. And that's all there is to it for creating a new student record. You click Save at the top, and now they have a record in TOPSpro. So now that we have created a student a record, we need to assign them their test records, because if it was a student who took paper-based tests, I need to put in those paper-based test scores. So I can close out of these, and for test records, I click Records, Tests, opens up a Test tab, and then I click the New button, just like before. And now I need to put in which test the student took. First, I got to pick the student. So in that first drop-down box, I find the students, the site that you just put them in. So I click on that one. And then on this drop-down for the students, it's going to give me a list of all the students that are in that site. And that's the person I just did. If you don't see yours here because you have a lot of students at that site, you can click Select from Lister, and you'll see all of the students possible. You can also filter here using the different filter options. Once you've found the correct student, double click and it populates them right there. Now we need to give them an assessment date. This student took their paper-based test, I'll say on September 1st, and now I need to say which test it is that they took. On assessment type, you can just leave this alone. It's sort of just a pre-filtering selection. If you click on this drop-down next to form, it's where we're going to actually pick the test form that they took. It's probably not going to appear on this list, and so I need to click Select from Lister to bring up all of the CASAS tests available. And let's say that this particular person took this life skills math test, form 34M. I double click it. It populates it right there in that box. And the last thing to do is say what score that student got. So I can click Score Override and give them a raw score, or if I want TOPSpro to be able to give me reports on an item analysis or a competency analysis, I can put in the actual responses that the student gave, and then it can run those analyses for me. So let's say they said this on their test. Probably not going to get too many right. Once that is done, I click Save. Oh, I should have said this. If I just had put in the raw score and then click Save, that would have that's all you would need to do. Put in the raw score, click Save, or put in all of their different responses, then click Save. And that does save the test record, and it automatically gives me the raw score 7, scale score 193, and that is it. It is now saved into TOPSpro. We can actually go back and verify that. back on this tests tab, and if I want to search for that student, I can search here, and there they are. That was the student ID I gave them, and there it is, the test 34M. It was on September 1st, scored a 193. That's all there is to it as far as setting up a new test record and a new student record in TOPSpro.